Good evening, everyone. Not really sure how many, excuse me, are going to be able to join in live today. You might be off at barbecues and potentially fireworks, etc. I know we've gotten some rain and thunderstorms coming our way, so I'm not really sure how many local spectaculars are going to be tonight, but in any rate, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend, and that whenever you're watching this, you are going to have some fun with this layout that we're doing. I want to thank fellow demonstrator Sharon Armstrong. This is one I copied from one of her presentations of a similar nature. I just thought it was kind of a cute way to use up some thin strips and make a cute design. Before we get started tonight, I want to make sure everybody has gotten one of these in their mailbox. I know it's a little early. You think Christmassy stuff right off the bat when you're looking at the front of this catalog, but I want to assure you there's plenty of great stuff inside for all kinds of holidays, plus several really nice ones that aren't even really holiday related. So there's lots of great things to start looking at now, even though it's only July. And then as we get more towards the holidays, we'll be sharing some great stuff inside there. Another thing to point out, there's another round of celebration that has just started as well. So for these next 2 months, July and August, you can earn some free product with your purchases. Minimum is $50 for most of it. There's a few things at the $100 level, but there's some really great things happening in there. And I'm going to show you one set I'm using tonight is on pages 4 and 5. I'm using Hippest Hippos, and it also has a matching die set. So with the $100 purchase, you can have both. The hippos get cut out in this set, and then there's a whole bunch of really cute accessories, little like snorkels and things like that. You can make them look like they're splashing in a bathtub. This gal is on her ballet slippers on point. Lots of great other little things to make, little accessories to go along with your hippos. It's another great one if you like cute animals and coloring. Definitely recommend this one. So here it is, a little more up close and personal. There's the stamp set and the matching die set. And I'm going to be using that in my presentation tonight. All right, here we go. So for episode 71, which we are on tonight, you needed a piece of cardstock that was 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to be using basic black on mine. And in that same cardstock, I said to cut another circle. I actually switched mine up because of the black. I did do my circle in polished pink. So I have a polished pink 2-inch circle. Then you needed 2 strips of designer series paper. One that's 3/4 by 3 3/4 and one that's 3/4 by 5. And then I said to pick 2 coordinating colors of cardstock. And I have polished pink and basic black. I'll put the black over here so you can see them. And you're going to cut the same things from both of those. So a strip that's 1/2 by 3 3/4 and 1/2 by 5. So one of each of those sizes out of each of the 2 colors that you chose. And then you need a piece of neutral that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then another piece of neutral that's a 1 3/4 circle. And this is where you're going to decorate to layer onto your 2-inch circle. I've already started mine. There's my little hippo. Started coloring her in. So go ahead and take your neutral circle and whatever stamps, etc. that you brought to do that with, go ahead and start there. You move this off to the side. I'm just going to finish coloring her in with my blends. I'm using my polished pink. I did the dark polished pink on part of her already. And I used some sweet sorbet on her cute little flower. I'm just going to finish coloring in her belly area, around that little leaf, and then a little bit on her face too here. So, or snout. Do hippos have snouts? I mean, that's always kind of like what I picture in this scenario, is like a snout situation, but I'm not sure if that just applies to pigs or not. But that's kind of always what I think when I think of that broad area with the cute little nostrils in it. Okay, so there is my hippo. And again, whatever you're coloring. Hey, Jessie, good to see you today. Whatever you're coloring or doing for that piece, go ahead and keep finishing up, and I will show you where we are headed. Just going to go ahead and layer that onto my circle and set her off to the side. Now, you have a little bit of cook's choice on this one. You're going to take your neutral piece, and we're going to lay out our 2 colors and our DSP, and we're going to be making basically kind of like a plus pattern, so to speak. Okay, so I'm going to start. You can start a couple different ways. I'm going to do, obviously, the short sides go this way, the long ones go this way, and they're cut long enough that you should have a little bit of the border left of your neutral piece. So don't worry about trying to match it up to a corner or anything there. There's left You can see it's designed to have just a little bit of a border involved. So I'm going to show you a couple different things you can do here. You can start same colors, and you can have this being laid out in whatever crossing pattern you would like. So you can start down here, you can start up here, you can have it be from the right side or the left side like I just showed you, okay? And you can do a couple different things here. You can lay them out so that they are like right next to each other. So if you start out this way, hold them up, right, have them come up really close to each other. You can layer them over each other a little bit, okay, like that. So I'm gonna start, I think, with my long pink one. Polished pink is what I've got here. And this plaid, by the way, this comes from one of the things in the new mini catalog, and it's the, let me see, double check what I used. Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper. And it's a big stack of paper. I think you get like 24 sheets in this thing. And they're all kinds of great colors. So I have the black and white here, tons of other colors involved. And each side has a gingham pattern to it. So some of them have more white inside, some of them are tone on tone color. And you've got all kinds of great color combinations that are gonna get you through a whole bunch of fall. There's some great, like I said, there's that pumpkin colors, really great fall colors in there. And then some really fun patterns just to go through. And you can do anything with this gingham pattern. So any kind of holiday, any kind of occasion, they're all going to be good in there. So like I said here, I overlap them just a little bit. And then, oops, I need the long one. And I'm going to do that again here. And then you decide when you're ready to go the other direction, if you want to keep the same pattern going, or if you want to switch it up a little bit. So since I started with pink, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to start with black across this way. And I know it's a little difficult to see because I have my black background, but that'll show off in just a second here. Okay, so like I said, you can keep it going this way. You can have them be down a little bit more in the middle, all the way at the bottom, okay? So I'm gonna go up here, I think. And again, you're gonna have enough to have a little bit of a border. Then I'm gonna go with my DSP again. And again, I did overlap them just a tiny bit. So this is a really fun one to play with. Like I said, you can just play with the spacing, you can play with the patterning. Hi, Mary Lynn. Happy 4th to you. I hope you were able to go out and do something fun today. All right, so there is your basic layout. And again, you can have this going all kinds of different directions. If you went with it this way, that's what you're gonna end up with a look like. I'll show you, I did several different versions of this with different patterns and stuff, and I will show you what that all is going to look like in the end. Now, if you have a phrase that you want to use, not just your images, you can go ahead and I'm going to see, eventually this is going to be placed somewhere in here. So I'm going to actually add my phrase, make sure I've got that going the right direction, down toward the corner. Okay? So you've got lots of white space that you can add your image, more images if you want, or a nice big phrase. Okay, so then this obviously is going to get layered. I'm going to go ahead and take that off for a second because my card base is black and you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I know, Jessie, this hippo set, oh my gosh, so stinking cute. I have decided, I wasn't always, well, I should say I'm not always a big fan of coloring, but all of these adorable little animals are just getting me. Everything, like I have piggies, I have cows, I have hippo, I've got all the cute little animals. I'm just so into them lately. So the minute I saw these hippos, that was literally my first order. I was like, yep, hippos are happening over here. And what did I do with my dimensionals? I have them out. Should I cover them up? Yep, I did. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pop up my circle with dimensionals. And there again, you can play with this too. If you want it to be dead center in your cross hatching, you can play with it coming down a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave her right there. All right, and there is my finished card. Now again, if you did use a dark background, you can do another piece of neutral that's 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside, and then you are ready to stamp on it, write on it, etc., and it's ready for the mail. All right, leave her over here for a second, and I'll show you some of the other things I did while you guys are maybe finishing up assembly. All right, this one uses, this little fox comes from the stamp set Count on Me, and I use the paper from He's the Man, and then that's soft suede and early espresso. So similar concept. You can see I did it almost exactly the same as I did this first one here, layering the stripes or the the scraps the same way. I kept the pattern the same this time. So there was suede, DSP, espresso, suede, DSP, espresso. Okay. On this one, I opted not to use a phrase, and I spread them out a little bit more. So this is Sahara Sand, and this is Mary Merlot, which I thought was very appropriate for my wine glass. This comes from the Brewed for You stamp set, and it has there's a couple of beer steins, beer glasses, and then a wine glass set. And this is the Neutrals Designer Series paper, which I chose in the Mary Merlot color. And again, I just left the phrasing off of that one. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to use it yet for. So, so there's that. Now this one, I switched up the direction. There we go. So it's horizontal, not vertical. And you can see here, I actually wove the pieces of paper between each other. So I just put a little adhesive in the middle of each of these to start, and then wove that through, and then went back and put down more adhesive to have it be all the way adhered down when I was all done. Now this cute little mushroom actually comes from the Happy Hedgehogs set. So I have used another set that has really cute animals, just not the animal itself. I use these really cute mushrooms. And this paper is from the Rings of Love. Now that's another one that's in the Celebration set. Thought that was a really cute color combination with the Poppy Parade and the Mint Macron. Okay. All right. Now here is my stepped up version of my hippo. I did the background, my card base layer is in the polished pink this time, and I added black as a layer, and I cut my white piece down to 3 3/4 by 5, which is why there's no border on these particular pieces. So I cut those exactly the same, and then they go right to the edges. And I took my blend, my polished pink blend, and I colored in the whites of the DSP. So now it's all pink and white and black. Looking that way. I also bumped the size of this up a little bit so I could get the entire hippo on it. And these come from the Stylish Shapes dies, and they have cute little, there's circles and squares, and I think another shape too, but they have this cute little stitching border on them, and they're sized to layer with each other, so I thought that was really cute. And I used my black matte dots. And then instead of a phrase here, I did one as a banner. So it's another phrase from that set that says, love you a ton. And I created it as a banner to come out from this side of her. And I don't think you can quite tell on camera, but I did add a little bit of Wink of Stella to her flower. Oh, there was a little bit of it. To her flower and her smile and a little twinkle in her eye. All right, I'm going to put this over to the side again so that black perch shows up. All right, so there are some options. You can, like I said, you can play with how you want to lay these out. You can play with weaving them amongst each other or not, and pick a direction. Like you can see this one went down a little bit. And then if you would just kind of imagine this flip the other way, you could have it be this direction as well. So a lot of ways to play with this. And again, vertical or horizontal works both ways. Great way to use up a few of your scraps, show off just a little bit. So like I think I said in the directions for tonight, using a non-directional designer series paper and something with a small print works pretty well, because if you have something really big, you're going to lose it because you're only cutting a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch to finish these up. So, all right, everybody, that is it for tonight. Have a great rest of your Independence Day, and I will see you again live next week, Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye now.